I want to start with Carter Bryant because it felt like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Isaac, it kind of felt like this is the way that it was always trending, that this was a guy that had the physical tools, had the athleticism, kind of had the strong end to the season that you normally see from these guys that end up being the big risers in the NBA draft process. We had him as a potential top 10 pick in the mock draft that we did after the lottery. And he told you guys yesterday, quote, "I am completely in when it comes to the NBA draft." He's gone. Arizona is going to be missing a spot at the 4. What does his departure mean for the Wildcats?
Yeah, it's a big deal because I think Carter Bryant looks like a piece that they thought that if they got him back for year 2, he could have an enormous role with that team. And, already floor spacing is going to be a major question with that group when you have Jaden Bradley, when you have Matthias Krivas potentially starting at the 5. Like, it was going to be a question mark there. Now, they have some terrific freshmen that they've brought in. Like, I'm a big fan of some of the guys that they're going to have, and they're going to be fine long term. But I think you could have talked about Arizona's potential top 10 team in the country if Carter Bryant had stayed. Now, he's an interesting candidate because, like, you look at the raw production, you're like, how is this guy a first-round pick? But, like, this is a futures market. You see that if you flip on the tape, like, the jumper looks super clean. It was something when I was watching him early. The jumper, like, the percentages would tell you, like, he was shooting 26% from 3. And you looked at all the shots, you're like, that guy is not a 26% shooter. Like, you just see how it comes off his hand. And sure enough, it started to get him in better spots, and he started to shoot up the rankings a little bit with how he was shooting. And I think you factor in, like, the defensive upside that he has. That's really, really enticing. And NBA evaluators love the way he moves as well, too. Like, you talk to scouts around at Chicago this week, like, they're all like, please don't talk about him publicly. Please don't, because, like, we really like him. And unfortunately, everybody is starting to see the vibe of Carter Bryant. But yeah, it's certainly a significant loss for an Arizona team that you like on paper, but maybe they don't have that necessarily that superstar power now that they could have had with Carter Bryant running it back for year 2.
Yeah.
Rob,
Rob,
how worried are you about Arizona at that spot? Because they're so young now. They're so young at the wing spot, where if he came back, not like he had a ton of experience, but he played a lot the second half of last year, came on. Now you're talking about guys like Braden Burries and Koa Pete. We've seen enough. Like, he's mature, big kind of 4-man. I don't know if he can guard threes, probably more of a 4. The kid Aristudi, I don't even know how you pronounce it. I should, because he was at Brewster Academy and I saw him. Bryce James, certainly I don't think he's going to play. But, like, they just have some talent at those spots, but it's unproven, young, high-end talent.
Well, that's the thing. It's young, and they are betting on the fact that they're going to be able to turn some of these potential one-and-done guys, some of these star freshmen, into impact players at the high major level right away. And especially in the Big 12, like, that's not an easy thing to do. It's not often that you see freshmen go into the Big 12 that aren't like the top 5 kind of pick, right? Like, that aren't the elite of the elite. There's I say it all the time, man, there's a difference between 5 stars. Like, if you're a top 5 player in the class versus like a top 25 player in the class, they're both 5 stars, but the impact that you're going to have as a freshman is very different. And without Carter Bryant, I do think that it is a bit of a risk that Tommy Lloyd is taking here. Now, I think Cole Pete's got a chance to be really, really good. And I love, like, Aristudi is a guy, he's a little bit older. He's big, he's athletic, he's physically mature. So I think he can come in and play a role, but you're still, Isaac, I don't know how you feel, man. I think it's a pretty big risk that Tommy Lloyd is taking here. And if it pays off, man, like, they have talent. There's going to be plenty of NBA scouts that are making the trip out to Tucson for a lot of different reasons. But I don't know if that's going to necessarily manifest as a potential top 10 team versus like a top 25-ish, get in the tournament as a 7 seed kind of a team.
For sure. Now, I think that all freshmen are different, too. That's a great point, because Braden Burries is old. Like, he's really old for his class. Like, I think he's already 19. So, like, he is going to come into college basketball with a ready-framed body. Like, you watch him play, he's huge. Like, he's really way more developed than some of these freshmen. Like, compared to, like, a Will Riley, where he comes in, he's, like, really skinny. Burries is going to come in ready to hoop. And I've seen him a few times. Like, he has impressed me every single time. Like, he was, like, the top of the scouting report type of player who's going to come in ready to go. I think he could score all 3 levels really, really smooth. So, yeah, like, Carter Bryant leaving, yeah, it's a sting for them. But I feel like this is a big bet on Burries in this infrastructure, right? Like, you have Tobe Awaka back. You have Krivas back. You have Jaden Bradley back. Like, those are three vets. Anthony Del Orso, that's another guy who's played a lot of minutes last year. So like you don't necessarily need Burries to be a stud, but like it is a big bet on him. Like now you're probably going to be our starting two guard. And from what I've seen, like I'm really bullish on him being an impact freshman. Like I don't want to say he's going to be the best freshman in the Big 12, but he's not like the rest of these other freshmen, or he's going to have to come in and kind of adjust to the physicality. I think he's ready to go in that regard.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. But if Carter Bryant had decided to come back, which I don't think he was ever coming back, I think we're talking about this. Like that's the star you need right there. Like that's your go-to guy. That's your potential All-American. I just don't know if they have that guy right now. A team I know does not have that All-American caliber player is the Georgetown Hoyas.